Hey, I'm Erin Áine,
And I'm Kyle Valle.
and these are the 5 horror movies that made us.
Yeah.
All right.
So I've got to start with Alien. Huge science fiction horror fan. Grew up loving Aliens. Was one of the first rated R movies that I saw at home. And after that, I got a chance to see Alien. And I consider that pure, basically horror. Of course, it's got science fiction. It is, set in a spaceship. But in terms of claustrophobic horror, I think it is rarely outdone and stands alone as one of the best horror movies of all time. And I've personally drawn a ton of inspiration from it. Ridley Scott is obviously a genius. So can't say enough good things about it. What's your number one?
Okay, well, I'm just going to go off the cuff here. When I was first asked this question, What Lies Beneath hit me because as a kid, that was probably the first true horror film that I watched. I was not supposed to be watching it. My friend and I were totally like sneaking around the corner as her older sibling was watching it. And it was horrifying. I definitely was traumatized for a while. Did not want to take baths. Michelle Pfeiffer, Harrison Ford, incredible. So I'm not saying it's the best movie ever, but it was one of the top 5 horror films that made me, for sure.
It's a great choice. And my second choice is going to have to be Frighteners. I think it's a fantastic kind of genre-bending piece that has both comedy elements, but also one of the most terrifying villains that I've ever seen. It's bad when the evil entity is making the ghosts afraid. So
I gotta go with, I know this is so unfair, but I'm categorizing them like together here, The Ring and The Grudge, because as a kid, they both kind of hit me the same way. I thought it was terrifying. I still have images of like the long dark hair and like crawling out of the ceiling. And I was so scared to watch The Ring because I was so sure that if you did, 7 days later. So I waited a while to watch it. I gave it, I think, weeks just to make extra sure. And I still was a little nervous.
And I'm going to then go with the Blair Witch Project. For me, watched it at a seminal time in my life. I believe I was 13, 14 when it came out. Saw it in one of my friend's crazy houses. He had like a tree growing in the middle of his house. So it was like the best place to watch the Blair Witch Project. It was like surrounded by woods. Absolutely terrifying, especially at that time. Had rarely seen, I don't believe I personally had seen anything like that up until that point. So it kind of broke the mold, gave me bigger ideas about filmmaking and kind of what was possible, especially with the found footage and just kind of shaky cam style and what you could do outside of, a Hollywood epic.
Great one. It's insanely impactful. Another very insanely impactful film, The Shining. I mean, it's got to be in the list for me. It is creepy to this day. Everything from, Kubrick, genius as well. But everything from the music to the shot choices, the acting, it is so freaking creepy and incredibly well done.
Yeah, it's a fantastic choice. Was going to be on my list, but I'll call an audible here. I'll go with the original Halloween, which I think, if you're a fan of horror, I don't need to say much. It is fantastic. So we'll leave it there. Interesting note. Again, this is more the production side, but I believe they only had like 1 pumpkin or 2 pumpkins for the entire production of that, which was supposed to be set in autumn, not in California. And it was shot in California, I believe. And they had, this 1 pumpkin circulating from all of the houses and a bag full of leaves that they kind of put out on the lawns to give it that vibe. So
you got to do what you got to do to make it happen.
Always.
Absolutely. Silence of the Lambs. Still, in my opinion, some of the best acting that is in any film. Jodie Foster going toe-to-toe with Sir Anthony Hopkins. And incredible. Perfect movie all around in terms of horror, creepy, thriller, and that one really stuck with me.
Man, I want to be a Sir. How do I do that? No. I would say, look, for the last choice here, I could go a number of different ways. I could tell you about how the first rated R movie I saw in theaters was Virus, which I don't believe has, had a lot of replay value in current years, although maybe it should given the technology aspect of it. But I truly enjoyed it at the time. I was terrified of my parents' personal computer. Back then, not everyone had computers. So you had 1 computer in the house, and that was the thing.
Good times.
But yeah, it was slightly horrifying. But I also like to throw in there an honorable mention for Jeepers Creepers, which I think is one of the best horror movies. I absolutely love the creature element design. I love the kind of simplicity of the plot, but also the kind of baked in narrative elements, and they work so much into such a a short kind of condensed piece where it was giving you so much of the lore of this character. I just thought it was fantastic storytelling. Terrified me when I watched it the first time, and still get the heebie-jeebies whenever I watch it. The usage of that song too, Jeepers Creepers, where'd you get those peepers? Not doing it justice, but if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, you should definitely check it out.
Okay, so now I'll go with the honorable mention. Quarantine to Terminal. Not saying it's the most incredible horror film in the world, but it was one that I played a terrified woman who ends up also falling victim to the virus. And for me, that is a part of my, film history. So that's one of the films that made me. I gotta give it to ZombieCon Volume 1.
Oh my God, we're matching.
This is
How did that
awkward.
happen?
I know. It's fate, I guess.
She raids my wardrobe. It's incredible,
It's fate. I mean, I think it's pretty safe to say that this film, more than any others that we've ever watched or been a part of, has definitely made us, whether it's horror, comedy, whatever bucket you want to put it into, because we spent 10 years of our life making it.
Made us, broke us, made us. Broke us probably more times than once in the middle of that.
Physically, mentally, financially, and, here we are on our feet, and we're making more horror. So,
yes, we are.
Yeah, I think that about wraps it up.
Absolutely. Thank you, everyone, so much. This was awesome. And, you have any last words?
These are the 10 horror films that made us.
I guess we added a few more. Maybe 12.
12,
I don't know.
technically.
In there.
It's fine.